Multi Retro Man presents.
Greetings everybody. Right, I've just thought I'd do a quick little intro to this video that I'm doing. Cutting the story short, as regards the previous issues that I've had, as you may or may not have seen, I've got an Acer 7750G laptop, which is quite old now. So you talk about 10, 11 years old, something like that. And it's just randomly been rebooting. Now, it's done this for quite a while now, quite a long time. So I wasn't sure if it was a software problem with Windows 7. So what I did was I did an update to Windows 10. That's what we're doing. Reinstalling Windows. The reason being, this failed on me. I rebooted several times, then the laptop started beeping, and it then refused to work. So I ended up using my little good old Lenovo simple laptop to create or to download the Windows 10 onto that. And I'm now reinstalling it using a separate hard drive that I bought from Cash Exchange. So I'll show you some pictures of my files. I mean, there's some right issues with it. It like I said, beeped and it wouldn't load up, wouldn't do anything. So I'm hoping that maybe this complete fresh install of Windows 10 on this particular laptop, my Acer 7750G, will also cure the problem with it randomly rebooting as well, because I think part of the problem might have been the fact that the other hard drive was faulty and it had some bad blocks on it. And I've also bought a new SSD drive which I'm considering putting in, but I'm a bit dubious at the moment because, like I said, with that particular drive failing on me, I'm not entirely confident that the it's going to work okay, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. That didn't really seem to work because obviously upgrade. I'd read there was some problems, some issues. So okay, so we're getting ready. It's done its bits and bobs. Oh, right, it's not showing up in blue because that's supposed to be blue colour. That's better. That's what it should look like. That's proper colours. It's bizarre. If I zoom in, it turns it to blue. What should do? There we go. Come back. Out of focus. Colours are right. As soon as I tap on the thing to focus it, it focuses but turns white. Well, that's part of the thing of the quirks of Windows, I suppose. But as you can see, it says getting ready. It changed the screen resolution, so it's very good resolution. So far, so good. I'm not being optimistic though, because in the past, when things like this have happened, something's gone wrong or whatever. You know, maybe it's a hard drive. I don't know. But if it works, great. If it doesn't, well, not sure what to do. Because they tend to be okay, the SSD drives. I changed a couple of settings, deleted something, and the laptop started beeping at me, and then seemed to refuse to load anything else up after doing a system restore and downloading Windows updates. So I thought, well, that's obviously caused some sort of problem. Just a moment, it's saying, right. And then it wouldn't load up at all. So, okay, so the thing. Look, she's talking to me. It started off, she's talking to me. Didn't have this before. I've used the WPS button for the router. That's worked before, and that's worked now, and it didn't before. It said it couldn't get the settings before, so this is better. Follow the instructions to sign in. What I ended up doing was downloading onto a separate USB drive the full Windows 10 installation discs. Not discs, the installation files. Booted from that. Okay, after more talking, so it's nearly done. So far, so good. But then I'm not going to be happy or think until it's actually loaded up to Windows and I can use my apps, play the games, and not have any random restarts like I did before. And I decided to try to see if I could delete the files before from the previous partition. And when it installed it seemed to pull some things across, which I wasn't too happy about. So I thought, I'll see how it goes, and it did again, it restarted. So I thought, right, wipe it clean. So I did the format of the actual partition for Windows, re-downloaded it all, installed it all, got so far. So far, so good. Now then, the thing if I might be able to show you on here, I'm not quite sure if it'll do it. There's a thing with flickering with the windows, like the see on there the flashing lines. That's because of the refresh rate not being set up properly with the the right thing. But to be honest, everything's loaded up. It's like got me the background for what I had before. This is something about defaults or whatever, something like that, I don't know what. But so far it seems to be okay at the moment, and like I say, I just need to change the things back, but it's back up and running. It's still having issues now. The problem I've got is I'm not quite sure exactly what to do. I mean, I've done the actual test that you can download for the SU630, and that was working fine. That did a test, and it says no problems at all on it, which was quite pleasing to say the least, because I thought, well, that's good. At least I know that there's nothing wrong with the actual hard drive itself, which is was a bit of a worry to start with, but all the files were still intact for on the second drive and everything else. So that was good. So I managed to I didn't lose any of my files, which is really good. I mean, they weren't mega essential or anything. I could have downloaded them again or whatever, or some of them weren't that important. However, when I did the install for everything else and it still wasn't working right, I was a bit concerned then, thinking, well, there's obviously something not quite right. One thing I have done, which is remove the OneDrive. I removed the OneDrive off it because I've read that can cause problems, and when I looked at the in the logs, it was actually causing quite a few issues. So I'm hoping that what I've done may have fixed that problem about it randomly rebooting, but I'm not sure whether it is actually something to do with the laptop itself, hardware wise, driver updates, that type of thing. I'm hoping that's going to have sorted it. If it's not, then I'm just going to have to put down to the fact that this is an old laptop. It's going to randomly reboot. I mean, I've checked all various things like memory, remove memory. I've used one memory chip, which was a 4GB, and it still kept randomly rebooting. So it's difficult to say, really. The other issue I've got is I've got no money. We've had to have a new roof, everything else, so I can't really afford to buy a new laptop anyway. So I'm going to try and stick with what I've got. Hopefully, maybe save some money up or something at some point, and hopefully, like I say, get something better. Or hoping that this fix I've done has worked. So fingers crossed. But anyhow, enjoy the video. It's about various bits and bobs that I've done, and also I've done another thing here, which I shall show you on here. This is what I've been wanting to do for absolutely ages. Make it so that you can actually just change the watch face just by touching the watch. So if you like that, I'm considering selling it for 20p online or something. So if you'd like to, pop me an email. I'll send you the details on how to pay for it, like at PayPal or whatever, and I will send you a link to the download for it. So if you like it, let me know. Hi, I've just learnt something today. Well, found something out. If you actually install Windows 10 from scratch, you don't have to put in, to activate it, you don't have to put in the serial key or something like you used to with Windows 7, type in the key, everything else. Because what it is, it's actually linked to your Microsoft account, and also, like you can see on it's still linked to your account, but it's also to do with your laptop. So when you sort of connect onto your Microsoft account, it will send the details of the laptop to the account. So basically, when you install it or reinstall Windows 10 on it, you put an option, it'll say I don't have a key or something like that, and obviously when it's finished installing everything and connecting to the network, then it connects onto their servers and says, oh yeah, that's it, you've got a Microsoft account here, this is actually activated, and that's it. So now it's working spot on like it did before. Okay, this is a video following on from the one that I did yesterday, that it's actually copying the files from the hard drive that failed, or that I thought failed, or it wasn't loading Windows properly, and it's now actually working. So the bizarre thing is, I'm not quite sure exactly what's going on here, but luckily I managed to get all the files off, or ones that I wanted anyway. So bit strange. So maybe there was just some sort of corruption happened on the because it was an update rather than a fresh install of Windows. I might give that a go. I'm not sure yet. Thanks thanks very much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, give a thumbs up and consider subscribing, because I'd like to do some live things at some point, and I need 1,000 subscribers, so that would be great. What do you think? Yes, I agree.